Happy, happy, happy life. It's so good to be here after, goodness, I feel that it's been a really long time since we talked to life, but I trust that everybody's doing well, and I trust that you're in the space where you must be in order to fulfill your destiny and all the gifts that come through. Hi, Lavita. It's so good to see you tune in. It's so, so, so good. Like I was saying, first of all, thank you for holding space for me. I've been going through massive shifts. Constant massive shifts since last Tuesday when I told you guys that I had that journey. Then it's been like, hi, beautiful. And so it's finally, the energies are so balanced to the point where doing a live video doesn't take me away from being present with that which is moving through me and that which wanted to speak. I'm doing so good. How are you, Lavita? But so like the shifts in this full moon was just very massive, right? And I trust that all of you have been feeling those energies and just going with the flow of and exploring your own being. How does it feel like to let go of those things that no longer serve you and celebrate your path and celebrate your growth? You know, it's literally all about that, celebrating tiny, tiny little steps. You were called a witch doctor. You know, being a witch is kind of cool. It depends on which perspective people are seeing it from, right? But I mean, we're all little witches inside, and I like to call them magicians, you know, little magicians within us. Hi, Kelly. So good to see some of you tuning in. So how is everybody doing? You know, how has your weekend been? I trust that it's been very blessed and divine, and you've been getting what you needed. You know, so that's what matters, right? So today there was just like this really big, sensation of coming on live. Hi, Kelly, and just sharing from that space of being present, you know, and which is hi, Serhat, which is really funny because normally I get all these messages of like, this is what you're going to be talking about, and today it's like, this is it, and we'll see what else moves, you know, we'll see what else moves, because things have been very different before, which is really good, you know. It's not a bad thing. I remember when things are moving. Hi, Peter. Hi, Ramesh. Hi, Sanja. When things are moving, you guys, and things are seen a little bit different than the norm, than what you're used to, it's not a bad thing. It's actually a very beautiful thing if you are open to see things differently and experience life from a different perspective, right? So because that's what you're doing, you're truly like seeing yourself from different aspects and learning from them too, and growing. Hi, Martina. Hi, Maddie. So before we go into this beautiful space, I really want to share this something with you guys, that next Friday we're launching our memberships, and I'm very grateful. I'm very honored. I'm so blessed to be in the space where those things they want to speak to me are put in that kind of sense and vibration, you know, and then also giving back to the community, because 5% of the memberships are going to go to a cause. And it's almost like kids or something that truly helps people where they're going through their awakening process, you know, since I felt like I didn't have that space in me. So, but then we'll talk about that later, as many things are coming through right now, you know, about being present, you know, and the importance of truly being present with yourself, you know, and it's not just right now, it's not just being present for like 5 seconds or 10 minutes and then just loosen it in a sense, which loosen is actually pretty good too, but it's also constant presence throughout your life, so you don't miss the present moment, you know, because what happens is that all the magic happens right now, and right here, right now. And then you can actually see patterns, you can see the codes, you can navigate the matrix in a sense, you know, and to really find your own way through your own being, through everything that you experience, and the present moment. And that's why it's called a present. It's a gift. It's a gift for yourself. It's a gift to be with yourself. And so one of the big things that I was feeling earlier was that, you know, so many things, it was an example actually, you know, that like, for example, if you are at home with your mom and then you're just like clashing all the time, and then you're like, oh, why am I stuck here with my mom? Or like, why can't I be with my best friend? Or all those kinds of things. And sometimes as humans that happens, you know, and rather than seeing it like that, you know, because it's taking you away from the present moment and just being us and like, okay, this might suck right now, you know, but there's a lesson to be learned and there's a teacher here. How can I incorporate that? Because when you're pushing things away, then you're pushing your own self away. Remember that we're all aspects of ourselves. So if you're like just complaining about your mom, and you know, of course, like family is one of the what's the word for this? It's one of the most intense growing experiences that we have. And that's why you chose them, you know, that's why you chose your family, because you knew they were just going to hit you really hard and you had to learn to navigate through that. And so rather than being in the space of victim mentality, right, because that's where it is, accepting what it is, it's like, okay, this is not fun, this is not very fun at all, but can I see past this? Can I see past those emotions? Can I see past my mom's rage or whoever you are with? You know, and can I truly like go into the space of like, I know that you're being the perfect mirror for me, and can I accept this? You know, am I willing to accept that for my growth? Am I willing to truly just discard in a sense, or disregard in a sense, like what you're yelling at me or what you're saying about me, and just see your heart, you know, because I'm also being a mirror to you. So can I be the support system that you need? Can I just be in the space of like, I understand your hurt because I've also been through that. Can we talk about this? You know, can I remind myself that what I'm seeing right now and what I'm witnessing right now is a hurt inner child in my mother or in my brother or my sister or whatever it is. And can I take myself away from that so I can be present for them? And as I'm being present for them, I'm being present for myself. And that way, not only they are growing, but I am growing also, you know, because then I'm not pushing anything away. I'm just being like present, and I'm not saying why this and why can I be this way. I'm saying, yes, I accept it, and let's work through this. Can we strengthen our bond? Can we truly be for support for one another? And that's all that everybody really wants and everybody really needs, you know, at any time, you know, La vida. And so, and also, you guys, it's just that a bigger space opens up in the present moment, you know, like major shifts happened right here. And that's what I was saying, that that's why it's a gift, because, you know, like you can't really work through your struggles, your hurts, when you are so stuck in the past, you know, or when you're just daydreaming about the future. And it's beautiful to daydream, because that's how you're actually manifesting things, you know, and you're bringing into manifestation your dream world, your dream reality, but having a space for that rather than always being there, because then you're missing right here what is happening, you know, you're missing your presence, you're missing the beauty of your physical body, you're missing the power to truly connect to everything that is around you, all the energetics, and also to create the change that you want to create, you know. So being present through the breath, or through however you want to be present, and experiencing and different things and different aspects of you will take you to where you want to be, whether it is having more awareness or having more self-love or more more self-esteem, or that which your soul has been wanting you to feel, not just in one little moment, but throughout life. So the message was like, be here, be here, because if you truly want to experience something bigger, that it is also like a gift of life, you must be present, and you must sit with yourself through the darkness, through the bliss, through the joy, through the tears, through the confusion, through those spaces that just take your breath away, and the lost, that you feel lost, because it's all it's about being human. Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. It's all about your experience about being human, and disregarding one emotion is disregarding a part of you that wants to be accepted and acknowledged, so also, as you continue to grow, you will realize things and you will notice different things, so like being with yourself at every moment in time, and of course it's a practice, right? But if you dedicate to be fully yourself, to be fully present into every moment in life, and being grateful, whether it is some struggle or some pain or just bliss or whatever it is, you just truly dedicate yourself to, I'm gonna enjoy life. And it's like your slogan kind of, right? You're like, I'm going to enjoy my presence, and I'm going to enjoy life because I am worthy, and because I know I can, and I know you can. And it's all just life showing you what you need to work on and how your life can reach that point. So in the present moment, when we talk about energetics, you can bring anything here. So we talked many times about merging timelines and freeing yourself from the past, and to allow the future self of your dream life to come into this present moment to help you. So that cannot be done if you're not here in your body, if you're not here present. You can be traveling through space or traveling to the 5th dimension and beyond, and yeah, that's very helpful, and you can bring downloads and embedded codes in your own organism, but everything must take place here for the integration to happen, because you're living in the 3D world, and it's so important for you to be present here and for you to know how it feels like to experience your life right here, right now. When you are in the right here, right now, then it's so much easier to see all the programmings that are in society, to see the programmings within yourself, to truly pinpoint, because you have the ability to see from the bird eyes view, like take a step back, and rather than being in the storm, you are in the eye of the storm with like the 360 degree of everything. And even though something might be very, very hurtful, you have the ability to take a step back and be in the center self, so you don't take things personally, and so you can see the growth, you can see what life is trying to tell you, what others are trying to tell you, or like even the mirror of somebody else to you, so you work through it. It's in the present moment that you have the ability to see the beautiful mirror of somebody else, whether it's your mom or your partner or even a dog or even nature, and truly see it. Because otherwise it's not even happening, and you're just missing such a big opportunity in life to continue to grow and continue to see like the beauty in you and the divine essence that is always moving through you, always speaking, and is always guiding you. So in the present moment, you truly in the present moment, it's almost like you're God. You don't forget that you are God. And so I'm not speaking from the point of religion, I'm speaking from the point of the Creator. the creator, whether for you, you call it God, the universe, the creator, who knows, you know, the light. You are that, and you see through the eyes of the creator, and you see how perfectly beautiful everything is. And so that is when you have the ability to truly reach the highest potential that you have inside, to break the codes in your system or activate the codes in your system in order for you to tune into those gifts that you've been wanting to tune in, you know. So if you were to imagine, you know, your own gifts inside of your DNA, inside your heart, just kind of like knocking on a door, you know, it's like, hey, I'm ready to like experience this, I'm ready to show you this. But if you are everywhere and you are just in constant go, you miss the knock. And it's always constantly there, you know, like knock. Is anybody there? Is anybody there? And you can only open up that door when you are present. And when your mind is not just going in every single direction, when you are present, when you are centered, when you are the eye of the storm, and when you can see things clearly from the point of unconditional love without taking things personally. Because when you take things personally, then a reaction comes, you know, that it might not benefit the person that is hearing what is coming out of you, and it absolutely does not benefit your own being. Because it's everything, again, everyone is an aspect of each other. So think about when you talk to others, when you react to others, everything that is going to them is also coming back to you. Like we said this before about the trampoline, right? Like what you put out there is going to come to you. So if you are in the space where you're just well, again, the mother example, right? It just cannot like live with your mom right now, and you're just in constant fight with your mom, whether it is like hopefully it's not physical, but you know, like verbally still as bad, or emotionally, and you're just throwing that upon her. Guess what is coming back to you? Whether it is at this moment in time or not, it really is just bouncing back to you. And it's so, think about what you can do in order to be present, you know. And of course it does not feel very good when somebody's yelling at you and you're like, okay, I can't really take this anymore. How can I go about, can we pause, you know? I think one of my best friends back in the day was saying something about what is this show called? I'm not sure because I didn't watch it, but she was saying that like this couple, right, that every time they were about to like get triggered or in a fight, they would take a time out and say, okay, time out. I'm not in the space to talk about this, and can we just take a 5-minute break or 10-minute break and then go back into it? And so they were able to work things out, you know. And I actually tried this before with my ex-partner. So, and it does work, because then, you know, sometimes where you are just so fired up, then things can come out that it's not your heart speaking, but it's like the ego, and then there's other parts of you that are just being pushed upon somebody else. And of course we don't want that, right? We want like a good kind of communication, so the other person also knows that they are being taken care of, and that they're being supported, and they're being loved, and they're feeling loved, and the same with you. So remember that in the space of surrender, when you surrender to your present moment, all the doors are open, all the doors are wide open when you are present. And it's only your choice, you know, which door do you want to walk through? Do you want to walk through the door that will take you deeper into yourself, that will take you deeper into these powers that you want to activate? Or maybe they're already activated, you're just opening up the door to invite them in. Or do you want to go back to how you used to live your life before? You know, it's all a choice. It's all a choice, really. And so when you are present, you can decide and be like, okay, I'm going to open the door that takes me deeper into getting to know myself. but also know that that door is gonna bring more triggers into your life, because you're opening up a door, right? And there's like a big walkway, you can call it, or kind of wave of life, right? It's a different wave, a different vibration wave, and you must maneuver through all that. You must maneuver through, like, if there's like really big boulders on the road, or a tree fell down, or there's a big puddle or a hole. So there's many things that must be cleansed in your own organism as you choose to go to take a higher step, and a higher step, because it's all just like you're choosing, and life is like, okay, here you go, have it. But then, like, sometimes you can go into this place like, oh, I thought I asked for, like, I don't know, to connect deeper with my higher self, and why am I seeing all these funky things, and why am I feeling this way? Well, there's work to be done, right? And so be mindful of what you ask for. Because if you're asking to get to know yourself better, you will get to know yourself better, but you might go also through a really deep hole in order to come out even stronger and to shine even brighter. So it's all about being present, it's about being present so you can walk through that path, so you can continue to open different doors. And trust me, then when you open a door and you're walking a path, right? There are also many other doors that continue to open up. And the moment that you, like, let's say, jump over a puddle, then there's another door. And then they will take you to a different way. And then there will be, a cliff. And then you take the leap of faith and you jump over the cliff. And then there's another door that opens up. So it's a continuous work and a continuous maneuver of life as you see it and as you perceive it. But if you continuously go into the space of a victim mentality as all these things are happening, truly that you're shutting down that big intelligence in your own organism for calling you that you're not good enough to do the work that you're meant to be doing. Because you are way more than strong enough to do all these things. Trust me that when something happens in your life, it's because you are ready. Because life is telling you, you did all this work and we applaud you and then we're cheering for you, so take this. And then, sometimes it could be like, whoa, okay. And then you can just feel like this is too much. No, it's not too much, because you're ready. That's why life sent it to you. If you weren't ready, it wouldn't be happening, And so also celebrate the little victories that you get, So if you used to just be triggered so much to your partner or your mom, and then at one time, for example, we're talking about the mother, right? So your mom says something, and rather than you just going like this, you're like, oh, I understand, Mom, and I thank you. And then, your mom could be like, whoa, what just happened here? And then it's showing you that you are growing, because you don't have that needed to go like this with your mom, and you're taking a step, we can say higher, and you're showing it to her. You can actually act differently, and then you can actually act like, can she feel it, that you're acting out of love. And there's also that part that you can open up the bigger space and hold space for each other and say, it was a little difficult for me not to say what I wanted to say or whatever, So she knows that you are still a human, and for her to know that, like, I truly, truly understand what you're going through, and I honor you, and I'm holding space for you, and it doesn't mean that it's good, like, that it's easy for me, but I do it out of love. I do it because I love you, and I trust that you can do the same for me when time happens. But that is the beauty of being in the present moment. It's a gift that you're constantly giving yourself. There is something I remind myself every single day. How can I be more present in my life? And I say, can I be more present with my breath every single time? And even if I'm just like doing automatic things, like taking a shower, sometimes you don't even think about it. You're just brushing your hair, washing your hair, and doing all these things. But I'm like, Can I be present with these movements? Can I be present with my breath? Can I be present with like how my fingertips feel on my head? Can I be present when I walk? You know, can I be present in nature? How else can you be present in your own life? What is the one thing that takes you to that space where everything is possible? Where everything is possible. Perhaps try that, give it a little chance or a bigger chance, right? To show you the way and to show you the power that you have inside. You know, there's sometimes people just kind of go into that unconditional love sense, will listen to music, you know, because music truly helps you travel back and forth. Back and forth from your past to the present moment, and what else, you know, like your imagination can literally go anywhere, and perhaps, you know, a little music can bring that to you, and then you can just close your eyes and visualize where you are, or visualize that you are in the eye of a storm, and then you can see everything so clearly, you know. But like the power comes when there's a really big storm hitting. And then you take a deep breath, and then you go into that space where even though there's so much chaos around you, you have the clarity to be able to see every single thing without reaction, without launching onto someone, without saying funky words to anyone or yourself. You're just, through that breath, you're like, I'm here and I'm present. What I'm looking at is not very nice. My body is not feeling very good about it, but guess what? I'm right here present with this breath, and I have the power to change it. With my intentions, with the unconditional love for myself, I can come here at any moment in time I want, and I can see it all clearly and see what life is telling me to bring into change, and to be more of service to myself and to hold space for myself. Because what happens is that most of the time, and this happens quite often, right? Like you hold space for others. When was the last time that you held space for yourself? Fully holding space for yourself. You know, you can talk to your best friends on the phone or whatever, your mother, since we were in the mother subject. And like, you know, they're like definitely like saying some things and you're just there hearing to them and giving them advice or just holding space as you're listening to them. But like, do you do that to you? Do you do that with yourself? You know, do you sit with yourself and you just say it, whether it's out loud or in your mind? What is happening in your system? What is moving through your system? Like, do you have that unconditional love in yourself, within yourself, to have the power to hold space for you? And to say to yourself, I got you. I got your back. And so here, let it all out because you are safe. You know, tell that to yourself that you are safe because you are. You know, but sometimes there comes a point in life where you don't really feel safe within you. So if you are a reassurance that you are safe, that it's okay to feel whatever it is that you're feeling, and it's okay to cry, and it's okay to be angry. After all, you're human. But at that moment, it's like, I want to let you know, as in talking to yourself, that whatever it is that you are going through is divinely guided, and that you're okay, and that you're supported. And through this transition, life has your back. Life has my back, and I'm here holding that space for you so you can transform, so you can elevate, so you can get to know yourself more, and so we can, in a sense, win, you know, the game of life. Because if you see a little bit, you know, like a game, it can be a little bit more joyful and also stressful and not like, oh, here we go, another day again. And so that's another thing, you know, like waking up with so much gratitude can totally change that space. You know, even if you have the crappiest night of sleep, you can just wake up and be grateful for the first breath, or be grateful that you are in a very comfy bed and that you have a roof over your head, and you're like, yes, how can I make this day the best day yet? And when you have that in your mind every single day and it becomes your routine, then your being gets very excited to wake up, and it's like, okay, there's a blank canvas today. What can we design? What can we manifest? How can I be more gentle with myself, or how can I push myself to, right? Because it's not just about being gentle with you. Remember, there's the yin and the yang. So you also have to push yourself, and being in a spiritual path like we all are, it's truly a really big push, right? Especially when you take those leap of faith and you say, yes, I'm gonna do this for myself, and I'm gonna start eating healthier, or I'm going to exercise or practice yoga asana, whatever it is that you've been wanting to do, you know, and like things just continue to come your way. You continue to open more paths and doors, and you continue to brighten your day. How beautiful is that you have that power in you to just make your day brighter. And it's not just for you, it's for everybody else that is around you. And then the energy becomes so pure and so loving that you just want to be around, which is yourself. You want to be around yourself. And of course, I'm not saying disregard when you have those really intense moments, you know, the really intense moments when a pain is coming through, a release is coming through, and there's so much confusion, you know, there's also a beauty in those moments. And it's not about pushing them away, it's about also welcoming them in and saying the same thing like you say to yourself: I got you. I am holding space for you, and I trust that you will do what you must in order to move through this. And trust me that as soon as you say those things to yourself, like, things shift, and it's immediately. It shifts, and then rather than being so tense up, or what's that word? Rather than feeling yucky about those feelings, you're like, okay, you soften up a little bit, and then you let it pass. You let them move. You let them move, you know, and you let them express themselves. And in that space, there's also a really big door that opens up, and it's also like, you know, the light at the end of the tunnel, and you can see it, and you're like, yes, it's here, it's here. Let's continue to move through all this, and let's remember that even though right now I'm feeling really dark, even though right now I'm feeling so confused, in this confusion, in this darkness, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel as well, because there's that conditioning, right? That, like, because something is very dark, it's bad, and something is really light, it's awesome. But that's you just living in a duality world, you know. When you accept everything about you, not just the darkness and the light, but your physical body and the way you express yourself and the way you dress and the way that you move, then, you know, your entire organism just beams with so much light and so much love, and it becomes so people become curious about, like, what's going on with you, you know, how did you get to that point? I would really like some guidance, I would really like some tips, you know. And then you're like, whoa, people are actually noticing, this is nice. And so it's almost like a little boost, you know. And then it's almost like life is telling you, thumbs up, you're doing a very good job, so keep it up. And so that gives you more confidence to keep it up. And even if some kind of practices are difficult, you know, you're like, I'm doing this because I love myself and it brings me to the present moment, and I got this, you know, I got myself. Like, so be your best friend, you know, be that very strong backbone that nothing can shake you. Nothing can shake you, and be literally that beautiful space where you can always go to whenever there is a conflict, or whenever there's something even beautiful moving, and feeling so good about yourself, knowing that you have it, that you got it, that you can do it, that you can pass through it, move through it, and also celebrating those steps, you know, like letting yourself know, it's like, whoa, that was a big step, and I feel it, I feel really light, or lighter than I was before, so I'm gonna pamper myself. And you do whatever you do, you know, whether it's like painting or putting a mask on your face, which is what I love to do, or just like dancing around, or just whatever it is, you know, like celebrating those tiny little steps. They're not tiny, right? But in the scheme of things, they're just like a little tiny dot. But they're opening up way more roads and big doors for you to just enjoy your being and for you to love yourself. Because at the end of the day, that is why you're experiencing life, to go back to that essence where you just feel so magnificent and you know there's nothing wrong with you, and that you are just so divine, so beautiful, so handsome, so powerful. And as you just begin to see life with the eyes of a child, you know, like a kid is always like, whoa, this is dope. Even like the little tiny things that a kid can see, and it just make magic out of that, you know, because there's so much magic around us. It's just that as adults, we kind of forget that, you know, and we put that child into the corner, and it's like, oh, you're just an adult right now, so you can't really do that. But no, of course you can. You choose to live your life according to you and how it shapes to you, how it resonates with you. So it's celebrating something like a kid will do, resonates with you, it brings you so much joy, and tuning in with your being, that go for it. You know, nobody's telling you like you gotta do this. No, people just give you guidelines, and people just send you love, and people just support you and hold space for you. But at the end of the day, it's you. You take those steps necessary for yourself, and then you take also the responsibility of your actions or non-actions. And the celebrations, you know, the celebrations are one of like the biggest steps too, you know. It's not just about doing the work, but it's about recognizing how far you have come and how far you continue to go, and then you will go. And just see like, wow, I remember when I was in a really dark spot, and look at me now, I'm shining. So keep that in mind, even if like you don't think that you are where people see you, that you are. But remember those really tough times that you had, whether it was being in a struggle in some kind of relationship, or just being in a depression state, or whatever it was, being abused in your family, you know, and just remember that, and then remember where you are right now, and remember those happy moments, you know, that you have always had. Because even though, you know, it's the negative mind that tends to like, it lives in the past, it goes back to all those emotions that truly hit something really intense in your being. So that's why whenever, for example, if somebody yells at you, right, and then you kind of go like, oh, I can't handle this, it's because it's triggering something in your past. So the negative mind gets activated, and it's not negative, that's what it's called. It's not, it gets activated and it totally goes back to a past experience that was similar, to bring it in the present moment. And when you are aware of that, like being in the present, then you can catch it and be like, oh, okay, is that experience, and now how can you heal it at this moment? Because again, it's timelines merging, right? When you are present and something is being triggered from the past and it's coming to this moment, to this reality, you can heal it here by being present, by acknowledging and knowing it's like, oh, this happened to me as a child, and this is something that I must work on, because it's literally your inner child just being like, this hurt me so deeply, but I want to be free from this. Can you help me? So then this other person, let's just go with the mom, right? This other person, your mom, was a perfect mirror for you to see that. So she's being of service to you, for you to see that, because the inner child kind of like called your mother and be like, Mom, I need to heal this. Please help me. So then the mother is here, and then she triggered that on you. And then when you are present, you're like, oh, childhood wounds, okay, now I'm aware of this and I can work through this, because I know that when you say those kinds of things or with that tone or the body language, then it gets triggered. My inner child gets triggered, and then I'm like here, like feeling it, but now I know and I can work through it. And how powerful is that? You are empowering yourself, you know? So remember that if this is happening with your mother, or it doesn't have to be your mother, it can be your partner, your best friend, who knows, you know, anyone, literally it could be anyone. It's just, think about it. If you're being triggered, it's because yourself, because we're all deeply connected, right? There's a matrix, and you can see it if you want to imagine it above us. There's some interconnections all the time, everywhere. So a past self of you, because you have chosen to move through these experiences and to raise your consciousness. So on this matrix, your past self called the present self of your mother and said, guide me through this experience, because I want to be free from this so I can continue to raise my vibrations. The mother picked up the phone and said, I got you. And so in the third dimension, this is what happens, you know, mom is there, she triggers you so you can see the hurt in yourself, and you can bring that experience in this present moment so you can free yourself from it and work through it if it doesn't come out at that moment. And so when you begin to see the other person as your guide, as your mirror, then it takes away all the things of like, oh, why are you being like this right now? I can't handle it. And of course you will have those experiences because you're still a human, right? But then it's not as much, it's not as reactive, or you actually have the time, even if it's a millisecond, to take that deep breath. Okay, I know you are triggering me for something that is inside of me, and I am empowering myself right now. And I'm gonna say this out loud in the most loving and kind way that you can. That way the other person doesn't get mad, and then there's no this exchange of low vibration energies, because that's what happens, you know, when you are going back and forth in a fight. And then that also empowers the person, and that also sees how much you are working on yourself, and it's also giving that person a boost to continue to work on themselves. Because even if you think that somebody's not working on themselves, trust me, there's always a very deep work happening inside. And it always gets done in the present moment, and it's more joyful for you and for whoever is around you when you are fully present, and when you can tune in into all those different energies and in yourself. And it's so much empowerment that comes to you, you know, and you are just honestly like stepping up like the warrior that you are, or the goddess that you are, when you say, it's not you, it's me, and I'm sorry. And it takes a lot of courage to say that. But courage is necessary for you to grow. And again, it's a continuous work, you know, it's a journey. That's why it's the journey of life. But remind yourself that by being present, you're gifting yourself so much empowerment and so much love, and you're gifting yourself back to you constantly, on and on and on and on. And so that's a gift to have, you know, in the present moment. That is also a gift for yourself, that you're also a gift. So keep that in mind whenever things are happening, and begin to enjoy also the struggles, you know, because the struggles are the ones, the teachers, they will lead you to something bigger in you. You know, you don't grow through the most amazing, mind-blowing experiences, you know, you might learn some things, but it's like through those really dark spots and those like heavy things that come through that shoots you up so high in your life that you get to know yourself so good, and then you get to love yourself. That's when change happens, and it's beautiful. And it's very, very beautiful. So I was getting these messages this weekend, you know, I said like, please send me light, send me love, like I'm struggling, and it's okay to struggle, you know, it's okay to struggle. But know that in that struggle, you have the power to change that. And I'm not saying, again, disregarding that. I'm saying that owning that emotion and owning the space where you are in, acknowledging that you are not feeling good and that you are struggling, but then seeing it from the other side as it, okay, there's a big thing moving through me right now, and if I pass to this, I will level up. And then you begin to look at the struggle like, whoa, you're not so bad after all, so thank you. And I'm grateful that you're here. Let's do this. Let's work as a team to get past this. You know, so think about your own organism as a team, because it is, you know, so you have all these organs, you have like many energetic bodies, you have your mind. So it's a team experience, and if they're all very connected and working well with one another, then you're operating fine and beautifully. If like a part of the team, it's kind of like doing its thing, or it's not being present, or just disconnected from the whole, then there's things that are not operating very well, right? So when you're looking at, wow, these doggies are totally going at it. So when you're looking at a sports team, right? Basketball or soccer or football, then, you know, when they're working together as one, things are very magical. You know, like I love to watch basketball. So when I see like how good a team works and how they communicate without like words and just with the space they're in, is like, wow, these guys truly know what they're doing. It's the exact same thing that happens in you, you know? So like when all these like parts of you are working in coherence and they're like, okay, I got you, you do this, I do this, and okay, I'm holding space for you, let's go. Then it's like you're just passing the ball and you're scoring like no other. So that's truly what happens inside of you as well. So take that space to acknowledge that everything that is coming up, it's coming up for a reason, and it's coming up because you're ready to step up further into your path and to level up, you know, to elevate yourself, to continue to construct that ladder that leads you into the throne of consciousness. And that's all that your entire organism is doing. You know, you are designed to do that for yourself. But you must take the steps, you know, and you must decide, I will be present and I will do the work because I'm worthy and because I know I can. And you say that, and it's like, done. It's done. And it happens, you know, it totally happens. So I hope this was clear for everyone, and I hope that this served you well and it's helping you. Let me see what you guys have said. Thank you all, you guys, for tuning in. Hi, Jasmine. Hi, Kelly. Oh, Ember, I'm so glad that you tuned in again. Yay. You're so welcome, Teresa. Does anybody have any questions regarding this topic? Harka Maldeep. Hi. You're so welcome, Kelly. You're so welcome. And it's something that you will continue to learn. You know, it's definitely something that you will continue to learn. So do not push yourself deeper in a hole if you're in. You know, don't give your power away. Bring it back. Bring it back to you. Don't give your power to the darkness, you know? Even though the darkness is an aspect of you, but sometimes when you are there, you just feel so miserable. And trust me, I've been there. You feel so miserable, and you're just kind of like putting your power somewhere else, taking it away from you. Bring it all back. Bring it back. Take your power back. and be the divine being that you are, and just experience yourself as much as you can, as much as you can. Thank you, Peter. It's so good to see you, like always. So if you don't have any questions, I mean, that could be it. Like I said, you know, today we actually posted that little video, and also that the live video was going to be up because it was so important to get that message through for all of you, to understand that everything happens in right here in the now, you know, and to bring you some excitement about being present, even if it in a way sucks. You know, there's always a beauty in life, and there's always something happening behind the scenes, like the post from, I think it was yesterday, saying like the universe has your back and miracles are happening behind the curtains every single moment in time for you to have the best experience that you choose, or the worst experience that you choose, right? It's like you decide. Do you want to have this, or do you want to have that? And then going for it, and going for it. That's what happens. That's what happens. Yeah. So thank you so much for being present, for showing up for yourself. There's so much love that's passing through for you, through the words, through the space in between the words, through the looks, through the eyes, through everything, to every single movement, you know, and that's always constantly happen in life if you pay attention. And so just one more thing again, that our memberships are launching this next Friday on the new moon, of course the new moon, and 5% of them will go to charity. And so we're very excited to share all that with you. We might do something very special that day, who knows. We'll just let things come, like always. And we'll be sharing this with you, of course. In the meantime, if there's anything, you know, that we are here for you. There's a free consultation where you can talk to me and see how we can guide you further, or just look at the services, anything that truly resonates with you. So much love, so much gratitude to you. Please stay safe. Please love every single aspect of you. Bring yourself back to balance and enjoy life. So much love. See you later.